Well guys, I've been reading through the over 1,500 questions that I was sent through email. Wow, that's a lot of questions. Sorry it took a little longer than I initially said. That is the reason why it took a little longer, because yeah, that's a lot of questions. I was able to sift through them with some help, and I picked out about 65 questions that were really good. And I'm going to make this a two-part video. I'm going to cover about 30 questions in this video, so let's get right off the bat, let's get started with question number 1. Ben S. asks, why do you think that less and less people are going to the theaters these days, and what could the theaters/studios do to help sell more tickets? Thanks, Ben. To be honest, I think less and less people are going to the theaters for certain films, because certain films get like a ton of money, like, all the sequels of successful franchises usually do really well. But I think people are just content to watch movies in their home theaters where they can just do whatever they want. If they want to go down and text, they can, although that doesn't stop a lot of patrons from texting in movie theaters nowadays. Which leads me to my other answer for this question. I think a lot of people are actually annoyed with the movie-going experience. First off, it costs a lot of money now to go to the movies, and there's almost always some annoying douchebag in the theater texting or talking or munching or turning rappers or something. And I think one way they could get more people into the theater is to maybe perhaps enforce more regulations about how people should actually act while they're there. Shut up and watch the movie, please. Thank you. From Heem Huggy, I just want to know what film would best describe your current love life, or maybe a film that sticks out in your mind in your past love life. Thanks. Thanks, Heem. I sat down with my girlfriend and talked this over, and me just saying that just now actually answers many questions I got. And we could not think of one because they're all cheesy and fake, you know what I mean? And the ones that are realistic are like kind of depressing. So the best one we could think of was Meet the Parents. Yeah, Joseph Acosta had a lot of good questions, but his best one that I thought was, what were some of the films you loved when you were growing up? Like, what were the films that shaped your youth? And for me, I had a few. The ones that I just wore out the VHS tape were The Sandlot, the original Star Wars trilogy, Princess Bride, Back to the Future, Toy Story, Hook. These films growing up, these were films that I just watched endlessly, and I couldn't get enough of any of them, and they kind of shaped me as a film lover as a kid. I loved fun, adventurous films, and that's one of the reasons why, to this day, I just love films that they feel like a ride, but they took you on an emotional journey, and they were fast-paced, and you felt like you experienced something fun, and they left you feeling good about life. Those are my favorite types of movies. Those movies that can impact you in really intense ways and shape you as a person, but have a good time while you're doing it at the same time. Kenneth Rothburn asks, what do you prefer, an engaging story or fascinating characters? Interesting question, because in my opinion, a story that may not be as engaging could become more so if you have fascinating characters. I think, however, the characters might be the most important part of a movie. Because let's just say you got a movie that's directed incredibly well. It has really good dialogue, but you don't care about the central guy or girl or any of the people. It's not going to matter. You have to have characters that are likable, interesting. You gotta want to watch, see what they're doing, where are these people gonna go? Because no matter how well a film is made, if you don't like any of the people on screen, or aren't at least interested in them, then it doesn't really matter. Trevor Thornley asks, hey Chris, I was wondering, what is your favorite song by Michael Jackson? Mine is Beat It. Mine would be probably Billie Jean. That's the song that kind of made me get into Michael Jackson and everything, and it just actually so happens I'm currently wearing a Michael Jackson shirt. That is an interesting coincidence. That really is a coincidence. I did not plan that. Billie Jean is probably my favorite. Yeah, if you guys don't know, I do some dancing. I am a dancer. I have danced in my life. My feet have tapped, and I have danced. Roll the footage. There you go. You saw it. I did this video so you guys get to know me more personally, and now you do, so there you go. Thanks for that question, Trevor. I'm just kidding. Julian Martinez asks, do you have any tips on filmmaking? If you guys don't know, my dream is really to direct. I love filmmaking. I love watching other people's films, obviously. I love dissecting other people's films. I love trying to get into people's minds, you know, the director or the writer or the actors. But I also love making my own films, and I've been making shorts ever since I was like 13. Like any random idea as I grew up, it was like, guys, get over here right now. We gotta make this short film. It's gonna be awesome. And, you know, there'd be a killer outside with a knife, or, you know, the toys came alive at night. Any random little movie, I would try to make it. And so I think really my best advice for you would be to make what you like. You know, don't try to make a film that you aren't at least interested in any way. I mean, some directors will take a project that scares them or challenges them. That's different. You know, when you're scared of making a movie because you're afraid of messing it up or something and you want that challenge. But don't direct a movie that you have no interest in. And if you want to direct or write about something that truly interests you and that you love. And if you're forced into some sort of filmmaking job that you maybe don't like or love, try to find something about it you do and use that to bolster you to making a better film. From Mario Arena, that's an interesting name. I just want to say this question has a spoiler for The Dark Knight Rises. So if you haven't seen The Dark Knight Rises and you want to, this is a spoiler to that film. Did you have an issue with Catwoman killing off Bane? I thought it diminished his role and he turned out to be nothing more than Talia's henchman. I have no problem with him being Talia's henchman. I actually thought that humanized him more as a villain and he was less of this, you know, you merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. It just made him seem more like a person, and I really like that aspect of his character. However, my only issue with The Dark Knight Rises still, and I have seen it 4 times, is the way Bane died. I thought it was weak. I think that the only thing that should have been in that movie is perhaps Batman, you know, looking over at Bane and maybe having one last little exchange or something as he died. You know, not just, there's Bane and he's dead. My only really issue with the film. Some people have commented, you know, Chris, you're a fanboy for Dark Knight Rises. Sorry, I've seen it 4 times. That movie holds up. I love it. On to the next question. From Paulo Escobar, if you were given a chance to write a Bond movie, do you think you will feel capable of doing it? I don't know if I want to write one, but I would definitely want to direct one. From writing to directing, directing is the thing that I have more passion for, thus I am better at it than I am writing. I would love to direct a Bond movie. That would be just incredible. Obviously there'd be a lot of pressure, and I'd be very scared of making some horrible mistake, but I think I understand what makes Bond, and I've watched all of them, and I've loved Bond my whole life, and I know the difference between a good Bond and a bad Bond, and I really would love to be able to do that. It'd be pretty awesome, and if I did, I would definitely go for the more mature route that the most recent films have taken, you know, where Bond is truly a human, and the action seems real. And a lot of people ask this question also, who would be a good Bond after Daniel Craig? My vote is Michael Fassbender. He proved that he could do fight scenes very well in Haywire. He did his own stunts and everything, and he was convincing. And he's also a fantastic actor, and to me, he's just perfect for Bond. A lot of people have been talking about Idris Elba. I think he's a great actor too, but I think Fassbender would be the better choice. From Mark Harrison, he asks, who shaped your diverse taste in film? Your sensibilities seem to be very mature for your age. I am 48 years old, and I'm astounded at how much I agree with your reviews and taste. Thank you, sir. I think it just has something to do with growing up with older parents. Currently, both of my parents are in their 60s, and so, you know, as I grew up, my parents were older, and I sort of took on their olderisms. That wasn't really very adult of me to say. I'm an old soul, what can I say? And the way I was raised definitely lent to that. But my parents really are the ones who showed me movies when I was a kid. They were the ones who were like, look, sit down and watch Back to the Future. This is a good movie. Sit down and watch Empire Strikes Back. This is a good movie. And as I grew up, I was able to articulate my thoughts on film well because of that, I think. So I owe a lot to my parents, to be honest. Michael King asks, what is your favorite anime of all time? My favorite anime is Cowboy Bebop. I have a poster for it behind me. That's actually the movie. Great movie if you haven't seen it. The show is just incredible. I mean, don't look anything up about it because it's very easy to get spoiled. That show is something that actually changed my life, to be honest. The music in that show by Yoko Kanno, I was listening to it today. I'm not even kidding. I was listening to it in the car today. That music shaped a whole different side of me that started to appreciate film noir even more because of that show, and jazz in general as music because of that show. It's incredible. Just, if you haven't gotten a chance to see Cowboy Bebop the anime, it's only 26 episodes long. Check it out, please. It is my favorite television show ever, not just anime, but TV show in general. Second favorite's Dragon Ball Z. You guys probably knew that. Andrew Hanratty Mullen, apologize if I got that wrong, sent a very lengthy question here, but I'll get to the point. He wants to know how I feel about Shawshank Redemption because that was a movie that impacted him a lot. I remember the first time I saw the movie, and it was before the whole IMDb top 250, oh, it's the #1 film thing. I just watched it, and you know, I didn't have any of that hype in me. I was younger, and it was just like, wow, this movie is incredible. And it's also kind of the movie that started the idea of Morgan Freeman being the greatest narrator alive. That voice of his, and the best scene in that movie, and oh my god, if you haven't seen Shawshank, I'm about to spoil something. That scene where Morgan Freeman just finally says to the parole board how he feels. That is one of the best scenes and best acted performances ever, just ever, put to film. That scene is incredible, and if you don't sit there just staring at the screen and then get this giant feeling of, oh my god, that was incredible. After watching that scene, I don't know, man. Check your pulse. You know, do you have blood beating through your veins? Do you have a heart that's pumping that blood? Because that movie is a great film. Yes, definitely. Action Jackson 555 asks, do you have a demo reel of your work that you can share and or discuss with the viewers? Yes, I do have a little bit of a demo reel. It's actually uploaded to another channel that I have called A Chris Stuckman Film. It's where I have a few of my short films. If you guys would like to go watch some of them, because I know I got a lot of questions about me uploading some of my short films, I do have a few of them on that channel. The link is in the description below. I have a demo reel on that channel of some of my work as a director, and a few of my short films are there. Go check them out. Spencer Nielsen also asked me a lot of questions, but I want to pick out, what is the saddest movie you have ever seen? My friend, The Elephant Man. That movie, thinking about it right now, I'm getting misty-eyed. That is the saddest movie I have ever seen in my life. And it's a true story. That's the other thing. It's a true story. My God, if you haven't seen The Elephant Man. It's directed by David Lynch. It's all in black and white. John Hurt plays an immensely deformed man who is in constant physical pain and torment from people. He was employed as a circus sideshow freak. Anthony Hopkins, in one of his best and most underrated performances, comes in and takes him out of there and brings him to a hospital in which he can hopefully be treated. Dear Lord, the performances in that movie are mind-blowing. One of the best scenes in this movie, without spoiling anything, is when Anthony Hopkins just loses it on someone who is tormenting the Elephant Man. It is incredible, his performance in that movie. And John Hurt brings me to tears. Oh my God, that movie is so sad though. It's so... oh my God, The Elephant Man. Weston Davis sent me a few questions. He liked my drive analysis video, and he wants to know, what do you think about The Walking Dead? How do you think the new Star Wars saga will turn out? And what is your opinion on film school? He is apparently leaving for his Marine Corps basic training this May, and he's considering to attend film school when he gets out. I hope that goes well for you, my friend. I got a lot of questions about The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad and everything. The truth is, I actually don't have cable TV right now. I just moved into my apartment, and I don't really have a lot of time for television shows, so I haven't got a chance to see them. Trust me, guys. You don't even have to tell me to watch the shows. I've heard it thousands of times. I will eventually watch them. I will. I like to watch shows after they're released on the Blu-ray seasons or DVD, and I can just kind of watch the whole show. I enjoy doing it that way because I don't like the whole cliffhanger thing constantly each week. Don't worry, I know. I got it. Breaking Bad. I got it. Walking Dead. We're good. How do I think the new Star Wars saga will turn out? And a lot of people ask me about, what do I think about Disney buying Lucasfilm? I'm incredibly optimistic about it. I really am, because Lucas, I gotta give the guy props because he created a great universe of other films. George Lucas is a guy who's recognizing that his films should continue on not necessarily with him being hugely involved with them, and that's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes, and I hope whoever they get to direct this film is a fan of Star Wars. See, that's really important. Most of filmmakers of today were inspired in some way by Star Wars, and so that's pretty cool. The guy they already got to write it, Michael Arndt, wrote Toy Story 3, Oscar-winning writer. Fantastic. Let's go forth, make it awesome. What do I think of film school? I'm actually considering going to film school. The tuition for the film school up in Cleveland is rather expensive, and I'm saving for it. And I might do that at some point because I think I would love to do film reviews like this for the rest of my life. But it's also kind of my dream to direct, and so I'd like to see where that goes as well. I'm thinking about doing film school at some point. So Kay Kaiser sent me the questions that are asked on Inside the Actor's Studio, as James Lipton always likes to say, the great Bernard Pivot's questionnaire. What is your favorite word? My favorite word? I was gonna say yes as my favorite word, but then I realized, what if I was like, doctor, do I have AIDS? And he was like, yes. Then that wouldn't be my favorite word. I don't know, actually. My least favorite word? Boy, now see there I can think up some things, because some people say stuff, you know, they say words, and I hate them. You know what word I can't stand? Swag. I hate that word. It's so stupid. If anyone's like, I got swag, I'm like, you're an idiot. Shut up. I really don't like that word. Slade Hawk has a few questions for me. Who is your favorite You reviewer? Do you like Jeremy Jahns? I do like Jeremy Jahns. We're buddies. However, my favorite dudes are the schmoes. I just had a chance to actually meet Mark Ellis. He came to Cleveland for one of his stand-up routines. He was great. Really awesome guy. Had a drink with him after the show for like an hour. We just chatted about movies and stuff. Really cool guy. Those guys are my favorite YouTube reviewers for sure. Number 2, are you a gamer? If yes, can we expect to see video game reviews from you? I am actually a gamer. Don't tell anyone. Whoops, I told people. I'm looking back here at my systems. I got a PS3, a Wii, an N64, and an NES, the original Nintendo system. And my Wii is technically a GameCube as well, so. Right now I'm playing through Dead Space 2. I just beat Dead Space. Great games. Next on my list is the Uncharted games. Can't wait to play those. So many people have told me to play those. And yes, I'm gonna make an announcement in this video. I am planning on starting to review video games in the future. I would love to do that. I've been a gamer my whole life. I know a lot about games, and I would love to talk with you guys about games, and I'm going to do that in the future. Slade also asks, will these questions really be answered? Yes. From Angelo Aguirre, apologize if I got that wrong. Who's your favorite Dragon Ball Z supervillain? Frieza. There you go. Aaron Lee Lozano asked a very heartfelt question. He talked to me about how he has aspirations to be a film director and a lot of the things that he goes through and some of the issues he has, which I will not divulge to you because they were personal and very heartfelt. But he would like to know how I became a film critic and an independent film director and what was my process in doing that. I still don't consider myself like the film critic guy. I love talking about movies. And I did it for fun for a long time, and I'm still doing it for fun. And you guys enjoy it, and I thank you for that. Even when I post a review for The Hobbit saying it's just all right, and you guys freak out, whatever, I still love it. I'm kidding. I really am kidding. I don't care. No, I love talking about movies, and I love that you guys love to talk about movies with me. And because of that, Aaron, I kind of started doing it for fun and just posting my reviews and talking about movies, and I kept doing it, and I was consistent and reliable, and I try not to miss any movies. I do every once in a while, but I try hard not to, and I try to get my reviews up as quick as I possibly can. As for being a director, I'm not technically one. You know, I'm not being employed as a director. It's just I can't turn that part of my brain off. When I go outside, it's like I see stuff, and I think about it in a frame. I'm like, what would this look like 16:9 widescreen? That's how my mind works. I can't turn it off, and I would love to do that professionally one day. It's a goal and a dream of mine for sure, and I really hope that you are able to meet your goals as well, my friend. Crazy Guy 100 asks, ever since I've been subscribed, I've wondered where and how do you get the posters on your wall? Dude, that might actually be the most asked question I've ever got. And I can't believe it because I just bought them on Amazon.com. It's very simple. You go on Amazon.com, you look 11 by 17, that's what most of those are. Type in the movie you want. They'll send it to you. That's simple. Some of them I got at the movie theater. You know, they have a big table where they just kind of put them there, and here you go, take them. And, oh yeah, I'll take that, oh baby. Like Dark Knight, movie theater. You know, like the more obscure ones like Die Hard with a Vengeance, I obviously ordered from Amazon. The Empire Strikes Back, same. Raiders of the Lost Ark, same. Cowboy Bebop the movie, same. Order them from the internet. They're cheap and pretty cool to have. Riley Van Pelt says, "Hey Chris, I heard you're tall. How tall are you?" You heard correctly. I am 6'4". Yep, I'm a tall beast. I'm about as tall as Liam Neeson, Conan O'Brien. I was always the taller kid in class. I was always on the third step when we took the class picture, you know. Ben Bardgett sent me some very interesting questions. Do you watch foreign films, not counting anime? If yes to the question before, why don't you do reviews of these? Well, the honest truth of the matter is, yes, I will watch a foreign film. I even have a few of them, if they are considered to be pretty good. You know, I'm not just gonna like watch some random French movie that someone said sucked. You know what I mean? Like, why would I do that? If I hear that a really good foreign film is coming out, I will try to see it. Here's the issue, and to answer your second question about why I don't review some of these, I do actually have some foreign film reviews on there. I reviewed The Skin I Live In last year, which was really good. Great film, Spanish film. I have reviewed foreign films before. The problem is, in Cleveland, you don't get too many of those coming out. So that's why. It's just a matter of what do I get screenings for? What can I actually go to? What comes to Cleveland? You know, because most of these things stay in New York and LA, and you don't get a lot of chance to see them. And by the time they're out on DVD and Blu-ray, you know, I mean, the time has passed, and that's kind of the unfortunate problem I have with that kind of thing. Sohail Iqbal from England, apologize if I butchered that, sent me a very inspiring email about the fact that he watched my Why I Love Movies video, and he said that it really inspired him to think about his life, actually. He says he put on the Inception soundtrack and just kind of thought about his life and decided he wanted to make some changes. And first off, that's incredible. I can't even process that. Thank you. That's amazing. And I'm glad that that worked out for you. I really am. But his question eventually is there anything that has inspired you to get up and change the way you think or live or feel? Perhaps a movie, a song, or even a person? You know, just to start out, my parents. I mean, my parents really inspired me in a lot of different ways in my life. I've met a lot of people, you know, throughout my life, friends I have that have really inspired me as well. I mentioned this in my Why I Love Movies video. The first film I ever watched where I was like, geez, you know, movies are an art form, was Signs. It's not like the best movie ever made or anything, but it's just, I remember, that's the first time I was watching a movie where I went, people make movies. I want to do that. You know what I mean? So thanks very much for your heartfelt question. Alonzo Brown thanks me in this very much for the videos. You are welcome, sir. And he asked, if you could be any fictional character, like Batman, James Bond, Gandalf, who would you choose to be and why? See, I would like to be a fictional character from a movie for like maybe a couple days if I knew nothing bad was gonna happen. Because, you know, maybe it would be cool to be Gandalf, but, you know, maybe freaking Saruman is gonna attack me or something. You know, maybe it would be cool to be Batman, but maybe Bane is gonna break my back today. I don't want to deal with that. However, it would be freaking awesome to be Batman for a day and just go out and just lay waste to criminals. Just to be Batman and go out there and just hold a guy and be like, swear to me! I mean, how great would that be? Pierre Louise asks, what is your workout? I think John Flickster said that you work out. I do. I have a membership to Planet Fitness, and I go there and I lift weights. I lift heavy things. No, seriously. I do bicep curls. I do whatever this is called a lot. I get on the elliptical for a long time. I basically try to work out as many muscles in my body as I can whilst burning fat. I don't have like a particular style of working out. I just know that I want to get into better shape. And it's funny, you know, if you guys actually want to do this, go back to like one of my videos in like April or something. Yeah, my Wanderlust review. Just go find my Wanderlust review. And then compare my face then to what I look like now. I've actually lost probably 10, 15 pounds and gained some muscle mass. It's been working out. Working out has been working out. Colson Dorafshar? So sorry if I messed that up. He sent me also a very inspiring email about his passions as a filmmaker slash actor, and he would like some advice on filmmaking. First off, just thank you for considering me a credible source for advice. That's awesome, you know, because that just, it makes me feel special. Thank you. As I said earlier, I really think it's important to tell stories that you are attached to in some way or affect you emotionally, stories that you love, or give a performance that you feel could affect other people in that way. I think the best type of filmmaking and the best type of filmmakers are the people who are trying to infuse whatever they love, whatever they have love or passion for, into other people. And those people are, in my opinion, the best type of actors or filmmakers, those people who do inspire. That's the best kind of advice that I can give to anyone who is trying to be an actor or a director or a writer or anything. Just tell stories that you love to try to make other people feel that same love and passion that you have. D-Dog asks, how do you feel about people who don't share your opinion about certain movies? Do you brand them as somebody with no taste, or do you tell yourself that you're happy that they enjoyed it? Do you put them down, or do you move on and smile at the fact that somebody enjoyed a movie you bashed? Example, Twilight, Piranha, etc. When you do movie reviews and it gets to the point where so many people are commenting on your videos and you hear so many different opinions, no opinion surprises me at all anymore. I've had people tell me that The Dark Knight is the worst comic book film ever made, which, you know, okay, so you don't like the movie, but seriously, have you seen Superman 4, The Quest for Peace? Just, you know what I mean? I've heard everything, so no, I do not feel that the bashing is necessary for someone who has a different opinion. I've been surprised by opinions, I've been shocked by opinions, but whatever. If you have your opinion on a movie, great. One of the things I talked about recently was my Hobbit review, where a lot of people were like upset that I didn't love the film, and I just had some problems with it, and you know, I thought it was disappointing, but still an alright movie. And a lot of people didn't like that. Okay, so you know, you didn't like my opinion on a movie. I guess I'm gonna go die now. It doesn't matter really, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm telling you guys how I feel, and if you felt differently, great. I'm glad you enjoyed whatever movie that was. Or if you disliked a film that I loved, okay, that's fine. You know, whatever. Go on happy and skip through lily fields. It doesn't matter. Kristen Johnson, or DJ Ham 411, who comments on my videos quite often, thank you ma'am, asks, if it were real and you could obtain a golden ticket-like passport similar to the one in Last Action Hero that would allow you to travel to any movie you desired, which movie would you travel to first and why? You know what would be pretty awesome? If I could go into the Matrix and have the knowledge that I'm in the Matrix and have all of the abilities of, say, Neo. You know, you could fly around, have all these amazing kung fu abilities, be like, hey, you know, it'd be kind of cool if I could, like, build a skyscraper. Oh, okay, let me just load this floppy disk that allows you to do that. It'd be cool to be in the Matrix, you know, to be able to load any desire you wanted, just load it, there it is. And you can also create any fantasy world that you wanted, like the woman in the red dress, you know what I'm saying? You know? Yeah, okay. From Bew Jameson, this is an incredibly good question. When you go to an advanced screening for a film that has not had any reviews yet, therefore having no expectations, do you ever fear being the only critic to either like or dislike the movie when you post your review? That thought has entered my mind. Yes, and I've never allowed it to actually, you know, change my opinion, ever. But I can't lie about the fact that I've seen movies and been like, man, am I the only one who feels this way? And then once reviews start trickling in, I'm like, okay, so I'm not. For instance, I saw The Last Airbender before any reviews were out. No one was talking about this movie in a bad or negative way. Everyone was pumped for it. Everyone was excited. And I saw the movie, and as you know, I left just shocked out of my mind. And I went, dear Lord, please tell me this is not me. And then other people started seeing it, other people started seeing it, and I was like, wow, that's great. For instance, and this also links to my previous question about opinions and do I let them affect me. When I posted my review for The Last Airbender, it had like freaking 500 dislikes or something. Like, it was crazy. It was one of my first reviews to ever get a lot of hits and everything. And it really was, I got like 2,000 subscribers in a week or something. It was really awesome. And all the comments were like, you suck, this movie's gonna be awesome, blah, blah, blah. And then the movie came out. And the dislikes stopped. And the likes just grew and grew. And I kind of like that. I like the idea of going to movies at advanced screenings knowing that, you know, I don't have to think about what other people are thinking right now. You know what I mean? And it's pretty cool for a movie reviewer to be able to do that because, as you guys know, I like to have as less expectations as I possibly can. Alright, so that concludes part 1 of my Q&A. Thank you very much for your wonderful questions. I will have part 2 up soon. I appreciate you guys' questions. There are a lot of really good ones, some really funny ones too, and some really inspiring ones. Thank you so much. I was really surprised. There was only a couple weird questions in the entire lot. It was really amazing. I was like, I'm gonna get some weird ones. I was actually hoping to create a little segment where I just reviewed the weird questions, but I really didn't get that many. I got a lot of inspiring, awesome ones. So thank you guys very much. I'll be back soon with part 2, and as always, if you like this, and you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.